Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Tuesday, August 20th, and we are here trying to help you make better sense of your life and your big decisions. And we talk about your life because so many of the things that you are contemplating have to do with your money. Lucky for you, I'm a certified financial planner, and so is Mark. And that means we love these holistic conversations about what's going on, what your goals are, and how we can help you get where you want to go, maybe with a little less anxiety. If you have a question or something is going on, go to our website. That is jillonmoney.com. Click the Contact Us button, write us a note, and if you would like to join us live, check the box, and Mark will do everything else because he's just the best executive producer in the world. While you're on the website, don't forget, we've got a whole bunch of stuff there. We have our blog, we have videos, we have resources, and we have our free weekly newsletter, which comes out every Friday. Mark does such a good job compiling stories you may have missed during the week, so you should check that out. Okay, today we are on the line with Howard. He listens to us from Virginia. Hello, Howard. How are you?
Fine. How are you doing?
Great. What's going on? How can I help you?
My wife and I are turning 70 the end of this year.
You sound so spry. That's great.
Well, thank you.
All right. So turning 70.
Sounds can be deceiving, by the way. No.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I built my whole career on that. Okay. Okay. 70 at the end of the year. You're married. So you and your wife both, are you guys working right now?
We're both working. She has a full-time job. I'm kind of part-time independent contractor working for someone.
Okay. How much money do you guys make right now?
Combined, probably about 160 or 70.
Okay, great. Okay, perfect. Well,
and then we've been saving for the last, I don't know how many, well, all the time. We're kind of frugal, but we've been saving for a number of years.
Do you think when someone says I'm frugal that I should just intuit you're a cheapskate, Howard? Is that really what you're telling me?
No, I'm not a cheapskate, but like I have a car that's, let's see, 12 years old that still runs, so I don't feel like I need to buy a new car until that car breaks down.
Me too.
That's what I mean by frugal.
But I'm not. I would never call myself frugal because I go out to dinner way too much. So you cannot be. You're right. So like I'm sort of cheap on the car thing because I don't really care. So what are you contemplating at the end of this year when you're both 70? You guys going to start rolling in the Social Security checks?
Well, my wife is currently collecting Social Security. She collected at 66. I'm waiting till I'm 70 to collect Social Security.
Mm-hmm. So what will that be at 70?
I would think that's probably going to be about $4,000.
And what's her check right now? Her 66?
$22.50, something like that.
Oh, wow. So when you gave me that 160, 170 total for income, did that include your Social Security checks?
I'm sorry, that did not include hers. So
okay, so that was just your income from work.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay, so $22.50 a month is what she gets now. You will get $4,000 a month. And Mr. Frugal, how much do you spend right now?
We probably spend between $5,000 and $6,000 a month.
That's it?
Yep.
Who pays for health insurance? Like, are you guys both on Medicare?
I'm on Medicare now. She has health insurance through her company.
Okay.
So eventually we'll have small little pensions.
How much?
Which should probably about, I think mine's a little over 400 and hers will probably be about 500 a month.
Uh-huh. And those are just straight up pensions. Is there any health care option through those pensions?
No, I have to pay for a Medicare now.
Mm-hmm.
She will eventually, when she retires, have to pay for Medicare supplemental after that. Okay.
What about the money you guys have saved? You've been squirreling away money for your whole work life. So tell us about what you've saved.
Well, we've saved well over probably about $2.5 million combined.
That's great.
Yeah, well, thank you, but
that's great.
I guess it's not that tough if you just keep saving and you just keep working and saving money. I guess it can work. Yeah. I mean, it's all invested in mutual funds.
Mm-hmm. Is it mostly in retirement funds that have not yet been taxed?
Correct. I'd say about 80% of that is either IRA, 401k, and maybe 20% is Roth.
Okay. And what about just money that's accessible, that's already been taxed, whether it's a brokerage account or it's a savings or checking or anything like that? What do you got in safe stuff?
Probably about I'd say about 250,000.
Okay, great.
That's with individual
Non-retirement.
non-retirement or bank account.
Okay. Okay. So that's like 250. We call it non-qualified or non-retirement. Okay. This all sounds great. Now, what is the impetus to you getting in touch with us? Because it sounds like you're in fantastic shape.
Well, that's where we're not sure. I mean, we're always worried about what could go wrong. Can we afford? I think we can when I try to do the math, but can we actually afford to retire based on the majority of our money is in, 401ks, Roths. So to me, it's like the stock market.
Yeah.
So the stock market's unpredictable. And, I know over time it's gone down, up, and then over time it's gone up.
Here's the good news. It goes up much more than it goes down.
Right.
So here's the thing. Just by my quick tally, between your Social Security and your wife's Social Security and the two small pensions, that gives you $71.50 a month, right?
Right.
And that means that you said you needed, let's say we're at $6,000 a month. So obviously the $71.50 is the gross amount. So let's pretend that we tax that. You live in Virginia. Are you going to move anywhere else? You're staying there, right?
Right.
Okay. So let's say that out of your gross income, you clear $5,000 a month. That just means that you will need to be pulling money out of your investment accounts, your $2.5 million, to cover that extra, let's say, couple $1,000s. You'll need to pull a couple $1,000s a month out of your combined retirement and non-retirement accounts. Let's talk about the retirement accounts for a second. When you turn 73 and maybe 74 for you, you're going to have to start taking money out of these accounts. So one idea would be if you guys is she going to be done with work at the end of this year or not?
It's up in the air right now. It might be maybe the end of next year. I think she's still going to work another half a year.
So what I would do is first and foremost that, as your income is still pretty high, because even if she keeps working and then you claim Social Security, you're still going to be, making 150, 100, right? You're going to still make as much money. So what I think you need to be thinking about is starting to get some of the money out of your retirement account. Just take a little bit of money out. And I don't think I would be aggressively converting your money to Roth, but I think I would start to tap some of this money and pay the tax that's due. Because at the very least, you're married filing jointly. You can have up to $200,000 and stay in the 22% tax bracket. So I would at least pull out that amount of money up to, so if you say, hey, with my Social Security and she's working, maybe I won't work full time. All of a sudden we're at $150,000 a year. I would take 40 or 50 grand out of your retirement account, pay the tax that's due, stay in the 22% bracket, and pop that into your non-qualified, your brokerage account or your cash account. Use some of this money to live on. But we want to start pulling some of the money out because the dollars are going to keep getting bigger and bigger, right? So that, when you think about when you turn, say, 75, you're going to have to pull 4% of the total account out. That's your required minimum distribution.
Right. But what I was thinking about, I still have about 118,000 on a mortgage.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. What's the rate?
Six something.
Oh,
it's kind of high.
Did you just buy that, or what happened? How's that 6%?
No, I have had it for a while.
Okay. So what's the house?
I just didn't refinance when
got you.
The rates were low. But anyway,
what's the house worth?
About $550. So what I was thinking of doing, tell me if you agree or disagree, is wait to pay off the house after we're retired and pull money out of our retirement accounts versus pulling it out now and then possibly going through getting in a higher tax bracket.
Yeah, I mean, I want you to stay in the tax bracket, the 22%, which is where you are. Whatever it takes to keep you in there, I would pull up as much as you can And yeah, I would start to pay that down. 6% is a real number, actually. It's very rare when someone comes on the air with us and says, should I pay down my, I don't want to, I think you've got plenty of liquidity, honestly. I don't think you have to do this all at once, but I would start whittling that down. I absolutely think you guys are fine. Okay. You have plenty of money. You'll have plenty of income. You don't spend a lot of income. You're not asking me about buying a second home, right?
Right.
You're going to stay in this house, right?
As far as I know, unless we find something better, but
what would be
right
better?
Now, yes.
Tell me what better would mean for you.
Well, my better isn't always what my wife's better is, but my better is near the beach somewhere, not on the beach, but near the beach.
Uh-huh.
It's moving somewhere a little less expensive than where I live now.
Okay. I only asked that because, I just to be clear about, what you would want. So if it were a downsize, who cares? The thing that's interesting, though, is if you think you're really going to move in the near term, I wouldn't pay off the mortgage. But if you don't, if you really think this is much more likely that you'll stay in this house, I'd probably stay where you are and not make a lot of big decisions about paying that mortgage down. I really wouldn't. But, it's fine. If this is the house you're in and this works for you, it's all good. I do think that I like the idea of pulling out whatever you want to pull out of the retirement account, okay, that keeps you in that 22% bracket is great. I would even be fine. I don't know how you feel about this, but I would be fine if you said, Jill, I want to take out $100,000 from that retirement account and I'll pay the 24% tax that's due. I'd be fine with that too, because I don't think 24 is such a big deal for you. But if you want to stay in the 22, fine. Make sure you go to irs.gov, look at the top brackets. You look at the range of the brackets. So for this year, married filing jointly, the top is 22%, $201,550 rather. That's the top of the bracket. So I like the idea of pulling the money out. Some of the money can be used to pay down the mortgage. Some of the money can be used to just put more money in your pocket so you can afford to live, but you're in great shape. You're not.
Or would you recommend putting, if I pull money out, not to pay off the mortgage, but just pull some money out?
I would add it to your individual account, to the non-qualified account. Just make it part of your investment account, and you're going to need another. You're going to need another $1,000 or $1,500 a month once you are fully retired, both of you. You don't have to do that now. The second,
but there might be other expenses like, who knows, we need a new roof or who knows.
That's right. So that's why I would put it in the non-retirement account. And, I might have some of the money in, like, how much money do you think you have in cash, like bank, money market? What do you think is in there?
Probably about 80,000.
I mean, what you could do is if you took a chunk of money out, let's just say you said to me, I could take 50 grand out. We might take 50 grand out right now and put it in a 1-year CD and and just leave it there. That's like part of your emergency reserve, so that in a year, when your wife says she's done, you're like, great, I have that extra money that we need for the subsequent year. And it's there for you. Right. I would love that. I think that having a little extra money in the kitty as you retire is a very, very positive thing for you. Because
what do you think about, we do not have long-term care insurance.
It's very expensive.
You're right. It's very expensive. And, who knows how much that's going to cost in the 5-10 years.
I don't know if I would necessarily get long-term. You're pretty close, but you are probably above the danger zone, because I know you live in a high cost of living area, right? You're in Virginia, and the cost of care is high. However, you have, as you said, like, we're looking at $2.5 million plus another $250, plus you've got a lot of equity in your house. I mean, you can self-insure. Do you guys have grown kids?
Yes. Yeah.
How are they fine? Like, just financially, they're fine?
Yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't get long-term care for you.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't. I think if you had it and you bought it, 10, 12 years ago and the premiums were reasonable, fine. But you're not in this wild danger zone. Do you guys, either of you, have parents who are alive?
No.
Okay.
I guess that's my biggest fear, is that down the road, unfortunately, we're all going to, pass one day. But before that,
you drain all your money and your kids are
right.
screwed.
The homes will drain all your money if you have to move in there. It happened to my parents. I know that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much money your parents had, but
They didn't have much, but
that's the thing. When you don't have a lot of money, then you're like, of course you're going to drain your money because you're going to say, I'm going to spend down my assets. I'm going to spend down this 100,000. We sell the house. They use all the money. And so that's it. But you guys have a lot of money. And the idea that both of you would need care statistically, I mean, it could happen. It would stink if it did. But like that you both needed care for like 10 years. I don't know. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. You go into, it's just one of those things where you give something up for that decision, right? And for you, you might give up the fact that like, hey, kids, guess what? We're going to spend $1 million of your money because we don't want to spend the money on long-term care insurance. But maybe we won't, and then you'll have the $1 million.
Can you? Is there a way to give your kids, say, if you think you might have to go in a home, but you haven't made any decisions yet? Is there a way to give some of your money?
Yes, but but you don't think that the government is like going to let you do that without having a little look-see. There is something called a 5-year look-back period. So here's how Medicaid works. Medicaid, right? This is federal insurance for people who don't have money, not Medicare.
Right.
You would have to spend down probably $2 million or give away $2 million before you needed to go into a facility. All right.
Yeah.
Now, that is totally doable, but it ain't easy. And you have to do it more than 5 years before you need to get access to the Medicaid system. Not my favorite idea. And there are many people out there who call themselves elder care, blah, blah, blahs. And what they do is they try to say to you, hey, I have the best idea for you, Howard. To give me $1 million, we'll put it into this annuity contract. We'll put it into this trust. And then you will not have to give that money to a nursing home if you need it. Two things that are problematic with that. One, you lose control of the asset. And two, my guess is, Howard, I don't know you, but I'm not sure you want to spend down all your money to go into a Medicaid facility. Maybe you'd like something a little nicer. That's what I'm thinking for you.
Right. Okay.
All right. Sound good?
I guess my biggest thing for me and my wife is just fear of the unknown. You know?
Well, honey, I cannot. That is life, and welcome to life. It is just where we are. It's scary. I get it. But you know what? You're in such good shape. You have done a really good job saving and investing and keeping your head down and not doing anything crazy and being frugal about your cards. I do think that you're in very good shape. So look, at the end of the year, what I would be happy to do is talk to you again and say, like, let's look at what 2025 has ahead of you, right? And let's see how much money we should take out of that retirement account. Let's see how your wife feels about working. Maybe she's going to listen to this and be like, you know what? I'm done working. I'm done at the end of this year. Who knows? But let's touch base again, because I think you really are in very good shape, truly.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your advice and input.
Excellent. If you, like Howard and his wife, are thinking ahead and, maybe you do have a 6% mortgage interest rate. Maybe you have a higher interest rate because you bought a house in the last year or something. Maybe you're contemplating what choices you have as you're facing your required minimum distributions and claiming Social Security retirement benefits. If all those things are bubbling up, give us a shout. Go to our website, JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button and let us know if you would like to join us on the air live. And while you're on the website, don't forget, there's a whole bunch of great content that lives there. There are podcasts like this one. We have another one where there's a radio show. There's a blog. There are videos. We have a YouTube show called Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. And we have a subscription service called Jill on Money Live for $35 for 12 months. You have access to quarterly live webinars, 4 of them, and lots of cool bonus video content. You can watch the whole back catalog. That's awesome as well. And you might catch yourself up and see what you missed. So $35, it's so easy. You can subscribe to this program on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Please don't forget to leave us a rating and review wherever you listen. I like to remind you guys that it is very important for you to do something nice for someone else today, because that's going to make that person feel better. It's going to make you feel better. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.